is putting you in the centre of your very own horror movie and seeing how far you can test your limits, push your boundaries, and experience this world that they are creating.
Oh, Sean, why are we doing this again?
Dunno.
Some may call us mad, but hello and welcome to another video. My name's Axl.
I'm Sean.
And we are here in Stoke for the Museum of Horrors live actor experience. It is our second time here, and once again, we are going extreme. So we've come back to give you the updates, to see what's different, and to do it all over again.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't that bothered, but now I'm here. It's starting to sink in what I'm letting myself in for once again. This will be the last time you see us this clean in this video. Let's get inside the Museum of Horrors.
Located on a dark corner in Stoke-on-Trent is an unforgettable experience filled with unspeakable horrors. With rooms designed to test your boundaries, this intensely immersive attraction is only for the bravest of guests. This experience features the disturbed minds of Murder House Productions, immersing you in a world of horror with unique characters that feed on your fears. Prepare to have your limits pushed, your boundaries broken, your senses manipulated, and your mind expanded in this attraction like no other. Would you say the safe word, or would you survive? The Museum of Horrors.
So last time we came to the Museum of Horrors, I was wearing dark clothing, and you could see how dirty it was from my hair and my face and from what we told you. But I thought to change it up and to see actually how dirty and all of the gunk that gets thrown on you, what I'll do in this video is wear a white t-shirt. So what I'm doing now is showing it you beforehand. This is it, fresh and clean. And in a few moments time, you'll see us coming out of the Museum of Horrors and the state in which we exit.
Look at you now.
Well, I've wiped my face off. It's more wet than dirty.
Oh my god. You want to look at me? Look at this. You got vomit all over me. Absolutely smothered in crap.
Just walking down there, and I don't want to think we've been mugged. Not so fresh-faced and clean-clothed anymore, as we have just come out of the Museum of Horrors Extreme Edition on the 27th of April 2024. I absolutely loved the changes in there. The Central Legion Scream team are fantastic, and of course we will have our full review incoming. But before we do that, and whilst we are in this tortured state, I would like to thank everybody at the Museum of Horrors. At this point, I just think you enjoy torturing us.
Yeah, I think that's it. That's definitely it.
So great, thanks for that. Review incoming. Jesus Christ, I stink.
Yeah.
So this was our second ever time at the Museum of Horrors in Stoke-on-Trent. If you do want to see our reactions and responses to our first ever experience of the live act today in the Museum of Horrors, then you need to head over to our other video where I will link that in the description below. Because of course in this video we will be reviewing our second time. Why did we go back? What was we thinking? And what was we put through most importantly?
The Museum of Horrors offers two different types of tour. The first tour is a daily guided tour, and that is where you are guided around the museum by one of the owners of the museum, and they show you the over 100 props that they have from horror and fanfare and film fanatics just across the board.
The daily guided tour at the Museum of Horrors does run all year round, and it's on mostly every single day. We do also have a video on the daily guided tours as well, which I will also link in the description if you want to find out a little bit more about that. But of course, coming on to the main event, once a month they do put on a live actor experience. This is truly where the Museum of Horrors comes to life. The rooms are so well themed on the daily guided tours, but when you do go through these live actor experiences, it really does bring a whole new meaning to the Museum of Horrors.
Yeah, you could say that again. The live actor tour is now only extreme. So when it first started, there were two different options you could have. There was the less extreme tour and the extreme tour. But due to popular demand, I imagine, yeah, I thought so. Due to popular demand, they have now just made it an exclusively extreme tour, which is an absolutely fantastic decision in my opinion, because the extreme tour is one of my favourite horror attractions in the UK.
Although, if you are looking to do a more toned down version, then the Museum of Horrors have said that you can contact them directly and they will make a space earlier in the day for you to be able to have that toned down version. However, you will need to book a full slot out, so you want to be aiming to get about 6 people together to do that. But I would highly recommend the extreme version, because why wouldn't you want to push your boundaries, test your limits, especially in an attraction like this? This is exactly what it is for.
Because most people are not insane, Axl. That's the answer to that question. One thing we need to clarify, because on our other video, we were under the impression that when you use the safe word, that you could actually use it multiple times throughout the experience, and that if you, for example, got too scared or too overwhelmed in one room, you could say it, they'll take you out and you can carry on the tour. That is not the case. If you use the safe word, you are removed from the tour, and that is your game over.
And it's as simple as that. Your experience will completely end there. That's where you've got up to. If you want to try going further, then of course you've got to book back into the experience. This is a test of mental strength. This is a test of physical boundaries. This is, live immersive horror entertainment at its best. So why would you be able to go in and out of the game, basically?
Yeah.
You're going to see how far you can go. And once you're at your limit, you'll be saying that safe word, unless you can survive. That's the true test, isn't it?
So we suggest pushing yourself as far as you can go before you use that safe word, because, you spend 25 quid to go there. If you use it too early, you are missing out on some of the best bits, I do have to say.
So the Museum of Horrors is run by Gemma and Craig.
Yep.
They run the Museum of Horrors daily guided tours. They run the Museum of Horrors live actor experience. They do actually have another museum around the corner, which is the Haunted Museum and Spirit Shop in Stoke. That being said, when they do run these live actor experiences, they actually bring another team in as the actors, and they all collaborate together to create this crazy, unhinged, intense experience and attraction. That other team was formerly known as Central Legion Scream Team, but now they have rebranded, changed the name, and they now go under Murder House Productions.
Yeah.
That being said, this Scream Team is absolutely fantastic. We gave them so many props in our last video, but we've only been twice to this experience, and each time we have been, the intensity has been there both times.
Yeah.
The characterization on these people is so strong. And this is something that I absolutely love about the Museum of Horrors as well. The Museum of Horrors now has started to get its characters that's known for the museum. Like when you go to the museum, you know you're going to see that pig guy. You know you're going to see that guy with like a deformed face with a long hair in the basement. Do you know what I mean? And you know the other kind of characters that are around the museum. They are improving on things, changing things up. And I did watch some of the live streams saying that they're going to look to do like different themes and stuff in the future. But the great thing is that there is characters now that reside inside the Museum of Horrors, it almost feels like. And I absolutely love that aspect. I'd love to see more behind these characters, the lore of these characters, who they are, why they're there, things like that. Because to me, they live inside there. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And even when you're doing the daily guided tours, they're hiding in the walls. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're there, they're watching.
Murder House Productions are absolutely brilliant. I think they do a great job of their craft, I suppose you would call it, scaring people for a living. It's absolutely brilliant. I think they are really, really scary, but they're also very safe. I never feel like I'm not in any sort of control, or I do, but in a way that I'm meant to, if that makes sense. Like, they do a very good job. And there was a point in this where I was pretty much blinded because they smothered my face in so much stuff that I couldn't physically open my eyes without getting loads of gunk in my eyes. And they were really good at guiding me around, making sure that I didn't hit my head on anything, clearing my eyes away and getting me into a safe place where I was able to see again.
This is it, and your safety is number one for them.
100%.
And that's why you do have the safe word. But at the end of the day, they're going to push you for that safe word.
Yeah.
They're going to test your strength, they're going to test your might, and they're going to test your will. They're going to push you all the way to the end. So, you know, but in a safe manner. And that's what I love about the Museum of Horrors and Murder House Productions. And you mentioned that it's their craft, and it really is, from the characterization down to the props, the costumes, the ideas, everything that happens behind the team. It's such a strong team, and you can really sense that they're like a family that works together so well. And I love that they bring the ideas to the table. I can't wait to see how they improve on the ideas and different like rooms that they've got, or different characters that they might bring into it in the future. Because as somebody that's been twice now, I like, you know, what they've got in there, but it would be good to have the shock factor as well, because you know, with an experience so extreme as this, you don't necessarily become desensitized to it, but you can get used to it a little bit. So I'd want something that's, you know, if you are coming as a returning customer, that you don't expect to see there, rather than something else happening to you. Yeah, don't get me wrong, if you're a first time goer to the Museum of Horrors live action experience, it's going to be the craziest experience of your life. It's going to be horrific, it's going to be terrifying, you won't know what's happening next, and you're going to be on edge every single time, of every single moment. But if you are a repeat customer, or somebody that is going back, you're going to become a little bit desensitized, a little bit used to what's happening. And that kind of takes away from it. Even if you bring someone new, it's good to see their reactions to it, but you want to have your own reactions. You want to be, you know, if you watch a horror film for a second time, you're not as scared.
Yeah, no,
Do you know
100%.
what I mean?
That's what it felt like. It felt like I was watching the same horror film again. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Whereas I wanted to see the sequel.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Like, that's the best way to phrase it. But I knew certain things that were going to happen before they happened, and that takes away some of the fear for me a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. As people have made theatre, it is a show, and you're not going to keep remaking the show. But maybe for next year, or maybe for in like 6 or 7 months' time, that's something that they might do. I don't know. But they have only been doing it for how long now? It's like 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, I think they opened just at the end of last year.
So it's still the same show. So I think I understand why they've done it. But for me personally, I feel like what I would like to see now is a slightly different story, or a slightly different order, or something slightly different to happen in each room, so that I'm able to get that same thrill and adrenaline that I got from the top floor in the first time round. Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like something like this will get a lot of repeat custom.
And when we went this time, we saw 2 people from the people that we went last time. It was their 3rd time there. Yeah. It's our 2nd time there. Yeah. And we're 100% going to go back. Yeah. You know, because every time you do go, it's going to be a different experience. Especially if they know you, they're going to try and push you even more.
Yeah, definitely.
But still, there needs to be some kind of change there that's going to be like, even makes you that bit more uneasy or on edge, because it's not something you've experienced before.
So now me and Axl are experienced pros, veterans of the Museum of Horrors. We have got some top tips for people who are going for the first time, or maybe they're going for the second time and they haven't thought of these because they're not geniuses like us.
So as you've seen in our previous video, if you've watched that, if you haven't, and I'll tell you now, this experience is one of the messiest experiences that you're ever going to do. My number 1 top tip is to bring a cleaning kit to the experience.
Face wipes, any wipes. They do provide you with tissue in there afterwards now, which I find needed more than anything. But bring your own facial wipes, especially if you are going on a long drive, because you're going to need to get in the shower, and you need something to bridge that gap.
So in that, I would add baby wipes, I would add a towel, and I would add a change of t-shirt, especially if you've got an hour drive home like we have.
Even if you want to bring some cotton buds to get all the gunk out of your nose, maybe a plastic bag to throw up into afterwards, because that's something you might feel like doing. Realistically, you need a steam shower immediately afterwards, but you don't get one of them until you get home and everything's dried.
So it's just something to bridge that gap between Museum of Horrors and your bathroom for a shower.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. The next thing I would say is wear old clothes, okay? So I wouldn't go there wearing my Versace, my Louis Vuitton, my Gucci trainers, and my Hugo Boss blazer. Definitely got all of that. Yeah, no, I live the high life, Axl. So you want to go there wearing really. Imagine you're going paintballing. Wear those sort of clothes. They're the sort of clothes, old trainers. The older the better, because it does wash out. To be fair. Like, I'm not saying they'll get completely ruined, but I wouldn't be very happy if I was wearing my favourite t-shirt and someone just dumped a load of crap on me. So that's definitely a top tip to remember.
Exactly. And you're not going out after this event. You're not going to the pub after this event.
No,
you will not be going anywhere. You want to be getting home as quick as possible to have that shower. So don't be wearing your best clothes. Don't be wearing your clothes that you would wear to go out in. You know, wear your rags, basically, because who you're looking good for? The monsters in the museum that only want to mess you up anyway.
When you're in there, okay, you're going to be going through some stuff, okay? It can be traumatic. It can be triggering. It can be a violation of your human rights, okay? What you need to do is you need to have that happy place in your brain that you can just go to and persevere through.
If you do say the safe word, they will pull you out immediately, but you will then be an honorary member of the Wall of Shame.
Yeah.
Shame on you. And you're only going to have to
shame.
come back to try again.
Shame, shame, shame.
I don't know what that is, but
That's shame.
fair enough. Dig deep down,
Yeah.
find that happy place, and try to persevere, because that's what we do.
Yeah,
and that's
that
how
is
we've
what
got
you've
through
got to
it twice.
So, another top tip when you're in there. If you know you're going and you've planned, let's say, a few weeks in advance, I would say a good thing to practice before you go is holding your breath. Because it stinks like nothing on earth in every single room bar one. And you will want to vomit just from the smell of some of the smell pods. Not to mention some of the stuff that they smother on your face and shove under your nose and try and cram down your throat.
Even if you can't practice holding your breath because you're not so good at that, then just find the stinkiest, the smelliest bin, a room with a load of cat poo in it, and just try to withstand it.
Just hold your head in the toilet the next time you've had a curry.
You've got to withstand
Without
it.
flushing.
And the last tip is just to enjoy yourself.
Yep.
Because no matter how much we say it's horrible, it stinks, it's very physical, it's torturous, it's demented,
Yeah.
it's unhinged, it's intense, it can go on and on. No matter how much we say about that, you know, you're paying to have an enjoyable experience.
Yeah.
And the whole team of Murder House Productions and the Museum of Horrors have come together to put on this live, active, horror immersive experience for you to enjoy. And that's the main thing. Have fun with it.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. Try not to say that safe word and try to get through it as best you can, because at the end of the day, it is fun.
It is a laugh. Like, I have to say, every time I go there, I laugh my head off. Like, whether it's you being put in these situations or you're watching someone else get put into it, it is really, really funny. Because at the end of the day, like Axl said, you've got to enjoy yourself. You know what you're getting yourself in for, or we hope you do. If you don't, then more fool you. But
I actually like that. If you don't know what you're getting yourself in for whatsoever.
that's even
I like
funnier
that.
when you're just there laughing your head off and you look next to you and there's just someone completely traumatized. You're like, oh my God, you poor thing. No, but honestly, it is hilarious. It's a right laugh. You know, be safe, be prepared to be pushed, but at the same time, remember, it is a laugh. you are there to enjoy yourself, and it is absolutely hilarious.
So the Museum of Horrors is a very physical horror experience. It is putting you in the centre of your very own horror movie and seeing how far you can test your limits, push your boundaries, and experience this world that they are creating. If you think you've got what it takes, then I strongly urge you to get on that website and make that booking now, or you can message them through Facebook and arrange to book a slot as well. Their next event is coming up on the 1st of June, so there's plenty of time to book in. However, do not wait if you can, because slots do sell out, and they sell out very quickly.
Yeah.
This is a new attraction, but it's quickly gone to one of the top horror attractions and the top overall attraction in Stoke.
Yeah.
It's selling out all the time, and rightfully so. They deserve everything that they get, and I would urge you to go to absolutely test yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
It really is a test.
Yeah, it's brilliant. The owners have put in so much work. Murder House Productions put in so much good work, and they put on a fantastic experience / show for you. And I fully recommend it to anyone, especially if you are a horror fanatic. It is well worth going to.
100% agree.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any more to be said. So with that, my name's Axel,
I'm Sean.
and we'll see you in another video.
Bye!